man, I feel like I'm much drunker than I realize. So, what would you like to know, Jack?
Alright, so you're on the subway, you're coming home tonight. From where?
I was in class for film and media libraries. Afterwards, I walked with one of my classmates down to the subway at 6th Avenue and 14th Street, where I caught the F train. And while I was on the F train, I was standing there. It was fairly crowded. I sort of did my survey of the car to see who was on it, and I did notice a very attractive woman sort of sitting down. Actually, frankly, there were a bunch of pretty. It was just there were all these pretty girls in the car. And I'm just very self-conscious on the subway. I just feel very aware of the image I'm projecting to others. But at the same time, I often try to be very sort of absorbed in myself. Just because I'm very uncomfortable, I'll try to focus on what I'm reading or just something. And so I was trying to read, but I was also very distracted and sort of thinking about the people around me. And so I kind of looked up, and this woman who I had noticed when I came in was just smiling at me. And I was just all right. And it was just a very bold smile. It was a crowded car. Everyone was kind of aware of each other. And then suddenly she was smiling at me, and she was how do I know you? And I was no, And she was Jack. And so I thought of you, and I was oh, maybe she's friends with Jack. And I was about to be oh, you're friends with Jack, but I realized that no, that wasn't the case either. And so I was no. And she's are you a DJ? And I was and then I started joking. I was yeah, I'm very cool DJ. That's how we know each other. And then I was wait, where are you getting off? She's 2nd Avenue. I was all right, I'll get off. And then there were 5 minutes on the train where we just didn't communicate anymore. We kind of went back to what we were reading. She was reading AM New York or something, and I was reading Anne Carson. And then we got 2nd Avenue, and as we're going out the door,
Anne Carson?
Anne Carson's this poet. It was it was pretty interesting. I was just trying to read it, and then as we got off, she was do you want to have a beer? And I was I would love to, but my roommates are cooking me birthday dinner. And she was oh, it's your birthday or whatever. I was yeah. And we just talked for a while I waited for the next train, and we decided we would go out on Tuesday, and it was cool. She picked me up. It was successful.
That's the most amazing story.
In this case, I actually was feeling this equanimity on the train. I was there are all these girls, but I don't even care. I'm very content with just
That's why it happened.
That's probably what happened. Because I wasn't all desirous in any way. I was just sort of.
How was she?
I don't know. That? I have her. She was oh, if I have a card, I'll just give you my card. But her card was actually it was a big postcard with all these pictures of it. So I actually have. It was kind of weird to show it.
I can't wait to see it. Oh my god.
That was kind of ridiculous.
Would you ever?